Welcome back, everyone, to your favorite movie review channel, Man Cinema Reviews, with its ever so lovely host, Peter Man. Hey, that's me. What's up, yeah? On today's episode, it's going to be fun. We got a double fright feature, and that is Immaculate and Late Night with the Devil. But before we get into those two reviews, let's go ahead and just take care of some business. You know, the usual. And that is to press like, subscribe, and be sure to hit the notification bell as well to notify you of any and all reviews to this channel. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and just say thank you for choosing Man Cinema Reviews. Thank you so much. Immaculate, about an American nun embarking on a new journey when she joins a remote convent in the Italian countryside. However, her warm welcome quickly turns into a living nightmare when she discovers her new home harbors a sinister secret and unspeakable horrors. Starring, produced by Sydney Sweeney, just wonder kind actor. You know her from Euphoria. She's coming in on her own, and I like the fact that she decides to produce this film. It's very daring of her, especially with the religious thematic elements that are going on here. This film feels like films of yesteryear. Roman Polanski-esque, if we can get into it, with Rosemary's Baby vibes, Argento with Suspiria vibes. Just really gothic religious horror that's going on here. I don't know if we get a sense that this is a period piece. It doesn't feel like it. However, the way that the film is shot, it just gives homage to retro style horror films, especially those of the religious and demonic nature. So with that, I think Sydney Sweeney really knows how to choose a project and when she wants to get involved and how involved she wants to get. Obviously, by producing it, she had nothing but hope for this film. She believes it, puts her backing into it, and I have to say that she is the standout of this film. This is the directorial debut of the director, Michael Mohan. And I would like to see what he does next. I think he has an eye for the horror genre. This film deals with basically an American nun who has already taken her vows. She takes it very seriously. You don't know much of her family background other than that she had to escape something, and she found solace in the Italian countryside convent of nuns. And so with that, once she arrives, within days she finds out that she is pregnant. She has to relay the fact that she's never laid with a man. So this is Immaculate Conception, almost like the second coming of the Virgin Mary. The baby that she has in her belly, almost like the second coming of Jesus. But that's where things get really sticky. We're in a sticky situation because of how this baby came to be, how she was able to conceive a child. So the thematic elements here are there, and they're rich, they're engrossing. However, the film doesn't dive into the thematic elements as much as I think that the film should have. I think that it gives all the severity but no substance. Unfortunately, this was very mixed bag with me. I really like the thematic elements going on here. I will have to say that as a Catholic, this was a very interesting choice to watch the night before Easter Sunday. And so I really felt conflicted in how I felt, especially because I think it's a very slow burn of a film. Not much is going around. It's very atmospheric. However, it does take so long to get to the meat and potatoes, the crux of the film. And when it does, something, very unnerving and profound happens in the third act, and then the film ends abruptly. And I did read that there are critical praises to Sydney Sweeney. There's no doubt in my mind that it rings true. However, I do feel the consensus of how the film ends abruptly and what the film is actually saying. Now, I'm not going to give too much away. If you know, you know. And I don't know how I feel with that wrap up. In the scene, Sydney Sweeney really gives it her all. This is the most riveting that I've seen her. The acting, her range as far as her acting exceeds in the final act. However, it comes to a complete and utter standstill. And I don't know if the journey was worth the ride with the way the third act wraps up. There's a lot of things to unpack here, and it's like an onion with many layers. It's very complex. However, where we get from A to Z, everything in between feels almost meaningless. And I feel like with a hollow ending that we get, there's just all style and no substance to me. Immaculate just wasn't the Immaculate Conception masterpiece that I was hoping for. And therefore I will give a 2-star review for Immaculate, unfortunately. I will say that I will sing the praises of Sydney Sweeney. I'm glad that she had the backing that she did with the star power that she has. But I really think that this was a very mixed to mediocre film. Going on to Late Night with the Devil. Now this is a period piece. This is an indie, almost grindhouse vibe. In 1977, a live television broadcast goes horribly wrong, unleashing evil into the nation's living rooms. David Dastmalchian just has so much gusto going into this film. This is a film that has the makings of a modern horror classic, and the way that it is period piece correct, it really just adds to the vibes of what was going on, especially with late night television in the 1970s. The era of Johnny Carson and David Dastmalchian and the cast and crew really give you an overview of who this guy is and who he means to the American landscape in the television broadcast, late night hosting television series. And so with that, it gives you a backstory of who this man is, what he believed in, his trials and tribulations, the ebbs and flows of his marriage and his career. And something very sad and devastating happens to him. But he comes back within months, I believe a month to a year, and he has something to prove, where he takes everything that he has and puts everything on the line on this late night broadcast that happens to be set on Halloween, where he will try to get a live exorcism going on live television. So with that, I really think that this film is very smart, concerned with being genuine in how things were in that era in the 1970s. Like I said, it's very period piece correct. I really like how they were capturing the times and what the nation was going through. And it gives a spin on late night television and how hokey it is and how actually disingenuous people were. And I like the fact that in between commercial breaks, you have this guy who puts everything on the line, and he is risking not only the lives of the live studio broadcast, the studio audience, but his crew, the staff, and his guests as well, once the doctor and the possessed girl come to the stage. And when we get the exorcism, that's when things really ramp up. I like the fact that this film is almost like a pot boiler, slow burn, but it has stakes, it has tension, and it knows how to build that tension well. And I like the fact that you have the broadcast going on in between the commercial breaks. It's almost like behind the scenes of what was going on and what he's willing to do to push the envelope and to get the ratings. It's sweeps week, and he knows that he's going to go down, in infamy, and he just wants to shoot it and have it on live television and go down in history as one of the greatest living television late night hosts. But what is he willing to do? Is he willing to risk it all? And how does it wrap up? This film really is a masterwork of how these events play out. And I think that the cast and crew are phenomenal. I like the fact that it's an indie. It really knows how to work with the space, and with very minimal budget, it's able to do a whole lot without doing much at all. I like how minimalist it is, and the fact that it deals with demonic possession. As a Catholic, like I said, I really get into that, and it really affects me. Like The Exorcist, like Rosemary's Baby, unlike Immaculate, Late Night with the Devil really knows how to play with the space. It knows how to hit its mark. It's not reliant on jump scares, which I like the most. It's very practical, and it knows how to scare, and it knows how to effectively do that in ways that I think just goes above and beyond with its very limited budget. I will say that the drawback of this film is how long it took to start. And this is an indie film when there's at least 10 studio intros before the opening credits. And this is just a small project that I hope will blossom and will be, known. Also the drawback is that because of the minimalist time and it's in and it's out, I kind of want to know, because the character belonged to this secret society, skulls and bones, meetings in the woods. I would kind of want to know what was going on. I think because you don't see it, the drawback is that I really wanted to know how he sold his soul, and the inner workings and the shady backdoor dealings of what was going on in these secret society elite meetings. These elites that sell their souls to the devil in order to have great success. And then the mysterious way that his wife passes. Those were things that went unanswered, and they did not show. And I think we could have seen a little bit of that. But other than that, I really think this was stellar, and I will give Late Night with the Devil a full-fledged 4 stars. Thank you very much. Let me know if you've seen these spooky films. Thank you very much for tuning into Man Cinema Reviews, and we'll see you on the next one.